My name is Garth Casbourn, and I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Western Ontario, and I'm up here doing field research for my PhD project. Today we're trying to catch adult male sparrows to put GPS tracking tags on them. So we had a mist net that we set up, which we used to trap the birds, and then we also had a recording of sparrow song set up beside the net to attract the male. There's a well-established population of song sparrows here that has been studied for a number of years, and we know that there's quite a range in how far different individuals migrate here. We know that populations of birds can gain or lose migratory behavior, so we're interested in how that can happen at a population level. Once we caught the male, we then took it and banded it and collected a series of data samples, including a blood sample and a claw sample from the bird. And then we were also looking at some radio tracking.
So we track birds locally to determine how much they move around during the breeding season, how willing they are to explore new environments, and see does that actually relate to how far they migrate.
There are a number of juvenile sparrows around the property that have radio tags attached to them, and I have a radio receiver with an antenna that I can walk around and learn where those birds are.
So it's very important for us to be able to understand how breeding birds of Canada actually spend their whole year. Many of our breeding birds are only here in the summertime, and they have to migrate, stop at sites, and then move to wintering locations. And of course, if we want to conserve our wildlife, we have to understand not only what they're doing here, but also what they're doing when they move south.
The purpose of the tower, it's a radio telemetry tower, so it's part of the project with looking at the radio tagged juveniles and how they move around the property. It's also part of a much larger network called the MODIS network, which is very similar towers right across Eastern North America and Europe, in Australia and other parts of the world. Anybody who's putting out a radio tag anywhere in the world that's registered with this network, if any tower picks up one of those birds, then the data goes into a shared database and people can find out where their birds are showing up. The human footprint on the earth is ever expanding, and there are an awful lot of animals out there that maybe need a lot more space than we realize and move around in complex ways. So understanding how those movements work and how we might be interacting with the birds in ways we don't know about yet is potentially very important.